The Texas legislature is back in session this week, and the agenda is packed. Lawmakers will look to tackle a wide range of topics from education to health care. One of the issues Lieutenant Governor Dan Partick is once again making a priority, the so-called bathroom bill. The long-awaited bill was filed Thursday in the Texas Senate. The bill would force transgender people to use the bathroom designated for the sex that is on their birth certificates. So will the law keep women safe from sexual predators, as the Lieutenant Governor says, or is it bad for business? That's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page. You can also join the conversation on Twitter. Send me a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. Joining us live in our newsroom is our senior legal analyst, Chris Tritico, Democratic media consultant, Mustafa Tamiz, and Republican strategist and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. Morning again, guys.
Good morning.
So do you think this issue is really going to dominate this session with all of the other big issues that we have on the agenda as well?
Well, if Dan Partick continues with what he's saying, it's going to dominate the Senate until he gets a vote on it in the Senate, at least. I don't think it's going to dominate anything in the House because Joe Strauss has no intention, in my view, of bringing it up in the House. With respect to the business aspect of it, North Carolina is our only state that's passed one of these that we can look at, and it costs them billions of dollars. And Mustafa Tamiz, it cost the Republican governor his job. Yeah. And so they tried to go back and undo it. It didn't work in the last session, but it cost them billions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, look, Governor Abbott's not on board, Speaker Strauss is not on board, and Lieutenant Governor Partick is the last guy standing at the bathroom stall, and his bill is about to be flushed down. And so he may be able to pass it through the Senate, but it's got no chance of getting through the House, and the governor's not for it. So it's a big waste of time, and he needs to move on.
Yep, that was rather strong. Governor Abbott has not come out in favor of this like he did the Houston city ordinance. Texas business leaders are saying, let's move on from this. It's going to cost the state billions of dollars in business. We don't want it. Why is the Lieutenant Governor continuing with this?
Because he has a large base that is supportive of it. You see polling after polling of a majority of Texans who are supportive of it, and it's a matter of comfort level. You've seen so many women say they are uncomfortable with having men in their bathrooms. So Lieutenant Governor Dan Partick is actually doing his job. If his job is described as listening to his constituents, which it is, and that's why he is proposing this bill. As far as Governor Abbott, he is not opposed to this bill. He has stated that there are a list of priorities that he wants to see going through the session. This is not one of them, but he's not opposed to this bill.
The poll that Dan Partick is relying on was taken before the Houston City Ordinance was voted down. I haven't seen him rely on any poll taken since then. That was well over a year and a half ago.
Well, I think the Houston City poll, this Houston City Ordinance is a good enough poll and a good enough indication, because when you have the fourth largest city, when a majority of constituents, 60%, say we don't want transgenders in our bathroom, that's a very good indication of what the rest of the majority of Texans feel.
There are other things that the Texas Senate could be looking at other than this, isn't there?
Look, we can go back and forth on this, but the country and the state has moved on. Dan Partick.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, well, none of us really want to talk about this anymore, but it's just something that he keeps bringing up. And what he's not realizing, and he's starting to, I think, that the public has moved on. And if he keeps at this, he's the last man standing at the stall on this thing. And if he doesn't move on, he's going to feel the brunt of it. He got very agitated at the last press conference. He kept on pushing back. And he realizes that nobody really cares.
Your puns are great this morning. Let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
He's had a lot of time to work on it. I mean, this issue has been around for a long time. No, Mustafa's great. All right, let's pull up social media, see what folks are talking about here on Twitter. We've got both sides of the issue for us. This guy right here is actually the president of Texas Values, an organization. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. This is a state representative here first, Eric Johnson. He says Texas didn't send us to the Texas Ledge to deal with bathrooms, Dan Partick. Can we please help pre-K and CPS kids instead? He calls it a waste of time, the Senate Bill 6. And then the next tweet, this one now from the president of a group called Texas Values, and he says on the other side of the issue, how is having a law that says if you're a man you should use the men's bathroom an issue? And he's hoping that Dan Partick will get this through.
Yeah, I like his little hashtag down there, liberals, when the House of Representatives certainly isn't dominated by liberals, and this thing is not going to get a vote in the House of Representatives, and that's where it's going to die. But, you know, this bill can't be the biggest priority in the state of Texas. You've got the CPS problem. You've got the college tuition problem. You've got the fact that our budget is going to be out of whack this time because of the oil industry and the lack of oil revenue coming in. You've got the City of Houston's bill that's critical for the City of Houston to get the pension reform passed. Doesn't Dan Partick have priorities that are far, far greater than this bathroom bill?
You have a lot of priorities that have been outlined by Governor Abbott, and some of those items that you've listed are on that list. You have a majority from Representative Strauss, and some of those items are on his list. Dan Partick has made up his priorities based on what he's seen and items that have been left out by those two gentlemen. As you saw from some of our constituents, even though both of you say that it's not an important item, it is an important item for many constituents out there. Dan Partick feels that he is the voice for some of those constituents that are not being heard. We heard that businesses were going to pull away when Houston introduced this ordinance. The same business group are saying that will happen at the state level.
Less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, look, I think Jackie's right. I think Dan Partick is listening to a small group of people that are saying this is really important.
I didn't say small group. I said a group.
Well, he's saying what he thinks.
Well, he said I said that.
Look, Dan Partick is listening to a group of people that believe that this is strong.
Hurry up.
But I don't think that's where the state's at.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. We'll be back in the next hour with two really good topics.
All right, we look forward to that.